I think that it is interesting because, so much of the 100 is, it lives in like a morally gray kind of space.
A little bit.
A little bit. And not to say that Nyla is like 100% good, but she's one of the more sort of good characters, as you say, at least in terms of just like being there and being supportive of people. But someone who is maybe not so much on the good side of things, I would say. We'll go over to Sarah. Let's talk a little about Josephine, because she was an important part of this current season, and you sort of got to share being Clark in a way. What was your reaction to like getting to really delve into that character?
Well, I didn't know going in. I had no idea what was going to happen. And I as well was supposed to be 1 or 2 episodes.
Right.
So I show up on set, and then Jason, the creator, is just like, yeah, so then like the 6th you and like the 3rd you. And I'm like, what? Like there's more of me? He's like, oh yeah, there's like 7. And I'm like, so it was always just a game of catching up, and which made it that much more, I guess, real and natural. Because I was just as confused as everyone else. And working with Eliza was really great because we were both in the same boat, and we got to collaborate on where she was at and what she was doing and how she felt. And yeah, it was really fun. I mean, she was a feisty little cat, so it was the best.
Yeah. I think that does lead really well into Caitlin Stein's question in chat. Did you ever get confused with storylines, since some of them can be complicated? It took me a while to figure out the primes thing.
Me too. I was like texting everyone, like, what's a prime?
Yeah, you're like, I think I am one.
Like, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. It's confusing. It gets confusing. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been here as long as you guys, but I think, has it always been this confusing?
Yeah, when the chip came, shit was getting.
Yeah.
I found
anything can happen, especially once the anomaly appeared. It was like literally anything could happen. So I think I died like 7 times, came back.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that that death isn't always quite so finite, I would say, on the 100. There's certainly the possibility to come back. However, we do have a couple people who
fully dead.
Yes, fully dead, fully dead. Yeah. Yes, including you, Rhiannon. You certainly seem to be fully dead.
Fully dead. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Now, when you knew that Antari's like storyline was coming to an end, and you knew you were going to be killed off, what was your reaction to that?
Well, I was fortunate in the sense where, because I've heard like other people, I think Chelsea, you in particular, didn't know. You knew that it was just could be a possibility, and it was kind of looming like anybody on the show. But for me, I felt very grateful, because from my very first meeting with Jason, he was like, your character has to die in order to close the season and propel us into the next one. Of course, it could have changed, but I felt very grateful to know on day 1, I was like, this is going to be this character's story arc, and that is it.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that like scary phone call.
Right. Now, Chelsea, did you get a scary phone call? Or?
Yeah, I hate this story.
Yeah. I did, but as you said, some people might not be permanently dead, and season 7 is airing in
That's
2
true.
days. It's 2 days.
So exciting.
So you never know.
You never know.
Yeah, I got a phone call before I was starting work, actually, just about 5 minutes from set. Not that they would have known when my call time was, or that would have been happening.
Right.
By any means. But yeah, I got the phone call and had a good old scream sob in my car.
Bless you.
Like, ah! I was like, okay.
Classic Chelsea.
Well, I gotta go to work now.
I would love to be a person walking by your car when that happens.
Yeah.
There was one man.
One man.
One man.
But obviously you have to, as Jessica actually so eloquently tweeted in our group chat this morning, the show must go on. So you compartmentalize it, you go to work, and I did the scene, I did the day, And then probably went to the bar like Nyla. So I don't know.
Exactly.
Hopefully you had emotional material that day, and then you could just
that was
right
the
in.
best.
I don't even remember. I think it was just like, green is good.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm right.
I was going to say, do you all find it really like cathartic in some ways to get to play out all that really emotional material? But
Definitely.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because
I was thinking, sorry, I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I was thinking during this time, like I would sell my soul for an audition where I just got to fucking scream. Like that is, it feels so good when you're sitting on anything to be able to let it out and to do it for your job. It is the most incredible feeling because we are all constantly sitting on things that need to come out, and to almost feel like you have an excuse to do it. It's really, really wonderful.
Yeah.
Hugely cathartic.
Yeah. Totally.
Because I think there is
a way too. Sometimes you're like so happy you get to set, you have to cry, and you're like, oh,
I know. I know.
Why do I have to be so happy in my life right now? Why can't I be
never happy? I can't.
Yeah. I think there is a level though too of when you are performing that emotional material of like, it's sort of relieving because the bad stuff is happening to your character, not to you. So you get to kind of like live that out without having to live with it going forward, if that makes any sense.
Totally.
It looks like we do have a video question, which Alex, I will have you queue up here. Now, you guys are not actually going to see the video. I'm not actually going to see the video. The video is for the people at home. They're going to play it, but I'll read you back what the video question was. But we do want to give our thanks to the people that submitted video questions. So,
yes, thank you.
All right, I see Alex is typing. He's typing live in 2, 1. Here we go.
Hi, this is a question for Luisa de Oliveira on the 100 panel, but other people on the panel can also chime in. You play a lot of really strong characters, not just in kind of a superheroine kind of way, but in a more realistic and kind of grounded way that's, you know, people who have overcome a lot of things and are very inspiring to people in the audience. So my question was, who, as a fictional character or a real person, is an inspiration to you? In your own life, as a performer, etc. Like, who do you draw inspiration from? Thanks.
That looked so fun.
All right. And we're back. So the question is, for Luisa or for anyone else, you play a lot of strong, grounded, and inspiring characters. Who is an inspiration to you, either professionally or personally? Can be fictional or real.
Definitely my mom and aunties.
Aww.
In my real life, because there's so much personal stuff that a lot of them have been through, and they've all been such great examples of what it is to be a woman to me. And I'm working on living up to that ideal. But they're just, I don't know, I feel really, really lucky. My mom has some really, really amazing sisters, and they're wonderful women.
That's awesome. Anyone else? Chelsea, anyone come to mind for you?
Immediately my mother as well, and how lucky we are to have such amazing family to have that be our go-to answer. I did want to comment quickly that, Luisa, I've known you for so very long, and I think you are such a lovely, genuine
Charles.
Truly, you're just ever classy, elegant, and present. So you're there.
Yeah. Thanks, Charles.
Which makes it all the more fun when you know her personally and she's the opposite.
Taz, does anyone come to mind for you in terms of women who inspire you?
Oh, I think definitely my mother, like for sure. I mean, there's a lot of women, there's a lot of great actresses, and I had a chat. My mom's in Mexico. She's kind of stuck there for the last little while, and she's not sure about if she can, about traveling back because she's high risk. She doesn't want to be in airports. But I was talking to her on Mother's Day for 3.5 hours, and we started to talk at 11 p.m. So it was I was talking until morning with her, and it's so inspiring to speak to her. And I was just really asking her very pointed questions and dialoguing with her about female empowerment, or like I hate like that combo of words, but like, you know, about like feminism and about what it was like growing up, like for her and me. And we talked about living before the internet, before having cell phones, and living after. And I was like, which one would you like to live in? Like 1990s and prior, or like when cell phones and internet hit? And she was like, "Hoo, good question." And we were just like having a straight dialogue. And I thought,
what did she say?
Yeah, I want to know the answer.
Better. Google it.
Next time. She said without the internet. She said in the 90s. And it was interesting because she's someone that pioneered the internet. She pioneered online education. So she was I remember growing up like so into the internet. And now she's like, you know, it went a bit sideways in some respects. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
It was a great discussion. And,
nice. Let's see. This is a good chat question here that I've got coming in. This is from let's see, Scotty0709. Without spoiling anything, just general impressions. Those of you that know, in 3 words, describe the final season of the show. We'll start with Jessica. You look like you've got something stewing in your brain.
Always.
Yeah, always, yes. Fuck, 7th season, man.
Yeah, right.
That almost is 3 right there. Probably What Just Happened.
What just happened? I like it. I like that a lot.
I love my sex tape.
that's not 3 words.
Oh no, what just happened? Oh, forget it.
Yeah. Well, debatably 3 words. Louisa, any thoughts?
Oh man. A little bit of like, where are we now almost? I know that's 4.
Where are we?
Where are we?
Where are we now?
Where are we? I'll take where are we?
Where are we?
Taz?
This is a hard question.
It is. It's a hard question.
It's perfect.
It's like, don't spoil anything. Come up with something that
so many layers.
Listen, I think what just happened really encapsulates
totally
extremely well.
I love lamp. That's
perfect. Perfect. I think I can safely say that's not giving anything away, even though.
No. Yeah. When you see the lamp, you'll be like,
Be like, oh yeah, I totally get it now. I totally get it. Yeah. And Chelsea, on your throne of secrets there, do you have any inkling?
I feel like Harper's answer is, where am I, as well. I'm excited to see it. I don't know. I know, like, you guys have been so, obviously we're friends and we chat, but there's things I don't know. Like, like if people were to die, you guys have been so cute and keeping it secret. You're like, we don't know. Like, you're not going to tell you. So it's kind of a surprise for me as well. But I have my countdown to season 2 starting, and I can't wait. Maybe we'll do a Zoom premiere.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Great. Yeah.
That'd be great. We should do that.
Yeah.
Jessica, every time you nod your head, I just feel like I need to like
bow.
But that's just our normal behavior, right?
That's right.
Just nod to your back.
So we do on set every time she walks in.
So obviously this is a big action stunt heavy kind of show. So the Ennui asks for the cast, is there any stunt that you would have liked to personally perform that you didn't get to, that you had a stunt double step in for? Chelsea, you're nodding.
Oh yeah, I would have this like Jason's like, let's do this badass Terminator scene where you're like Sarah Connor doing all these pull-ups.
Yeah.
So I was training so hardcore twice a day, gym morning and night, and I'm biking in between, and I had just come off the set of Supernatural where I died, so I was all full of adrenaline. I was biking to my second workout, flew off the bike like an idiot, broke my elbow.
Chelsea.
No! I never got to do the scene, and Marshall, at the time, our stunt coordinator, is like, it's okay, we'll just rock it. We'll like hang you upside down and do sit-ups. I'm like, yeah, that's so dope. And that never happened. So the scene ended up just me angrily pacing
Oh, that's a shame.
I remember we both hurt ourselves, and you showed up to work, and I was like, I injured my neck. I couldn't move. I was turning like this, and I was like, like I couldn't bend, whatever. And you're like, well, I broke my arm, and I was like, And then you're like, they wrote this scene for me where like I have to do like one arm pull-ups or two or whatever, or like pull-ups, and I was just like standing there being like, they don't write those for me.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Well, so today, because the job meant so much to me, you guys did, and obviously the show changed my life. I'm personally a fan of the show. Like, all I wanted to do was like have that moment before I left.
Right.
I had to pace my way around the scene.
I remember how tough you were during all that because you were constantly in pain.
Yeah,
constantly for weeks and weeks and weeks. But you just never you would never say anything about it until someone would finally ask you, like, oh yeah, like crippling pain, but whatever.
Oh yeah.
I'm dying.
She got through it.
That's a stunt. Plus, also, I never got to do something hardcore on a horse. Just like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, the horse stuff is cool.
Dude, that's actually like.
I was gonna say, Antari was kind of she was kind of a hardcore character.
Yes.
In general, Rhiannon, did you get any stunts either that like you really wanted to do, or one that you did get to do that you really enjoyed?
I mean, there weren't. No, I mean, I don't mean to sound like an asshole.
No,
like the only like one stunt that I think I had was falling down the stairs, and I was like, I'm cool to not do that. Like,
right?
Like, I understand the feeling of being like, oh, I wish I could do that, but it's also cool to sit back and watch someone do it where it's like that's their craft, like that is what they are an expert at. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Incredible. Our stunt team is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, we had two because we had one from 1 to 6, and then we had a different stunt team who were involved, but a slightly different stunt team season 7. And I just got to say, those people are fucking incredible. And like, we did a lot of, like, I know I did most of my stunts were earlier on in my character's storyline. So I was younger and like, I'll try this. Now I would never, like, I would just, I'm just like, good for you. That's incredible. Yeah. I'll be over here eating my sandwich. Like, I don't. Like, and it's cool if you can do it, but, or if you want to, but there's so much training that goes into what those people do. It is an art, and it's really, really difficult. And I got to see from the other side of the camera this year. I created a couple of stunts and was like, what do we think? Like, is this crazy? And they were just like, nah, we can do that. No problem. And just like grabbing someone on a rig and like flipping them up.
So cool. What a fucking skill.
It was so they crazy. Make you look so cool. Your job is to make you look good, and they're so good at it. It's like,
and then how little credit they get, even looking at the Oscars, how it's like, it's not even a fucking category. Like, it's absurd.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, Sarah, you know, while we're on the topic of like stunt people making you look good, have you ever had in your career a moment where you did get to see somebody who was your stunt double in a finished cut and go, dang, I look awesome?
Josephine rolling around on the roller coaster, the motorcycle.
Yeah.
I was like, and also the fight scene, like when Clark and I had that big fight, I was severely injured. I had like rib pleurisy and essentially broken ribs. And it was like, I was also in just so much pain, but I'm a dancer. So I have this, like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to do it. And we did a lot of it, but after watching it, I was just like, and even working with them, it's not just them stepping in and doing it. It's you get to work with them one-on-one and like copy them and learn from them. And they're so smart. They're so good at what they do.
Yeah. The best.
Yeah.
Round of applause for.
Yeah. Right?
Yes, for stunt people. I totally agree. No, I'm with you. As you say.
They make everyone look amazing.
Yes.
We have a really incredible stunt team. It's